This is my oldest snake, Rex. I've had him for about 3 years. And Rex is a ball python. This is what you call a normal pattern ball python, meaning there's nothing special about this particular pattern that you see. This is the kind of pattern you'd see in the wild. And there are some pretty crazy designs for ball pythons out there where through selective breeding, sometimes breeders can make them white with yellow or sometimes purple or black and albinos and all kinds of crazy colors. But he's just a normal pattern ball python. And Rex is from Ghana in Africa. Ghana, Africa is on the very if you're looking at Africa, there's a little section right here towards the southwest part of Africa by the Ivory Coast. And ball pythons like to live in, they like to burrow down in like a rat or a mole or a gopher hole or something like that. So they won't dig their own burrows, but they'll find a burrow of a rodent of some sort, and then go down in it and hang out and wait for that rodent to come down, and then they'll eat the rodent and steal their home. It's kind of brutal, but that's just the truth. Ball pythons are by far, ball pythons along with corn snakes, the most popular pet snakes in the world, at least right now. And there are millions of ball pythons out there. They're incredibly popular. And you can see why. I mean, look at how incredibly friendly he is. He is a fat, heavy, serious snake, but he is docile and relaxed and calm. And they're called ball pythons because they like to ball themselves up. Sometimes especially if they get afraid, sometimes they'll kind of wrap themselves up and they'll put their head underneath, and it looks like there's kind of just a ball of snake. It's really funny. So ball pythons are excellent pets. They're very friendly. They're very docile. They're inexpensive. You could get a ball python for $50 or maybe even less, maybe even free if you look on Craigslist, or if you find somebody who needs to move and can't take a snake with them. Sometimes you can find ads for like free to good home. But ball pythons are pythons, and obviously, and so you can see that on the side of his lip, hopefully you can see that, he's got some pits here where he can detect heat. And so ball pythons are night predators, so they like to eat at night, and they don't need any light in order to do that. They can do that in the daytime or the nighttime. And so they can detect the heat of a mouse or a rat with these little pits on the side of their face, and they can use that to determine, oh, there's where my dinner is. So he's got these little tiny pits on the side of his face. Let's see, what else? Yeah, so ball pythons are constrictors, just like a boa constrictor, where if you actually feed them, they'll wrap their body around their prey, even if it's already dead. When I feed my snakes, I don't feed them live. I feed them frozen thawed, which means it's already been humanely killed and then frozen, and then I thaw it out and then I feed them. So even though I feed him something that's dead, he doesn't know that. So he still wraps his body around it because he thinks he's doing his job and killing his dinner, even though he doesn't need to. So ball pythons are constrictors. They're also pretty fat-bodied. See how fat his body is? It's really fat, really heavy. So they typically get fat rather than long. They don't get very long. Maybe he's a male, so maybe 4 or 5 feet, which is not very long for a snake. And so he'll typically get larger and thicker rather than longer. He's very friendly. He has never struck me before. I've never been bitten by him. And he's really calm. They're kind of cowardly. It's funny. For as frightening as ball pythons look to some people, I don't think they're frightening at all, but some people look at a ball python and they're absolutely terrified by them. But they're totally cowards. It's really funny. If you startle them, they'll just wrap themselves in a ball immediately and cover their face and hope that you go away and leave them alone. They're not brave at all. So they're kind of cute and slightly pathetic in that sense. And that's part of why they make great pets. They're not aggressive. They're really friendly. They're very curious. But, you know, if you got a ball python, he would probably sit in his tank for about 23 hours a day in the same position without moving a muscle. At nighttime, when all the lights are off, sometimes they do go, they start to look around and see, ooh, what's out there? What can I go explore? What can I discover? But for the most part, they just kind of sit in a ball like this. They just wrap themselves in a ball and they freeze for an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours, 10 hours, and they don't move. So that's part of why they're very common as pets. They're cheap, they're plentifully available, they're very friendly, and they don't take up very much space at all. They need very little room. And they're also fun to take outside. Like if you have a ball python, you can take it out front and just let them explore in the front yard. When it's summertime, I like to take my snakes outside, and Rex, I'll just set him in the grass and he'll just like explore for 20 or 30 minutes slowly. He doesn't move fast. He's a very slow moving animal. So that's another reason why he makes a great pet. Like if I set him down for a second and then walk away, he's not going to be gone. He'll still be there when I come back. So Rex is he's a great pet. He Rex. So bye Rex. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.